Uh, this person says that they're a sex coach. Here's the one thing every woman wants in bed.
Okay, I guess that's how we're starting, guys. Okay. So I'm guessing Mickey D wants to start the pod off by talking about a sex coach and things that every woman wants in the bed.
I don't have Apple News Plus, so we can't actually read it.
Ah,
Do
well,
you have Apple News Plus?
I don't know. You have to go in there and look and listen to this bullshit. Just put some more pumping in the pumping. What in the lingerie am I looking at?
What does it say about it?
Basically, it's some bull crap to get a man to try some other things in the bed. Like, if you really want a sex coach, just go to TikTok.
Right. I don't know though. TikTok literally is it's Chinese spyware.
Okay, but this ain't no better.
I mean, what do you mean, bro? Apple, you know how much money Apple is worth?
Yeah, a lot. That motherfucker made that in the garage.
$3 trillion. Last time I looked at it. I mean, that's a lot of money, bro.
Who you telling? If I had $3 trillion, you know what I'd do?
What?
Buy one big old elephant.
Why would you get an elephant?
And put him on an island.
On an island.
Just senselessly do stuff. Like I'd be like, I'm tired of the way I'd buy an island for every type of animal I mess with. I'd just like go crazy on the island. Like I'd put its whole habitat on that island.
Mm-hmm.
Let like a couple of them loose.
Right.
On that island, and then boom, just leave them there. Like y'all go flourish. Like other hand, like if I'm gonna help society, $3 trillion. What I'm gonna do is just like cancel out all the big wigs, all the Rockefellers, everybody, and just restart from ground zero. It's gonna be hiccups, ups, downs. But
what do you mean cancel out? What do you mean by that?
The big power that really runs the world.
I mean,
it puts you in places where you just ain't never thought were real.
I mean, yeah, but like, would that help society? Because at the end of the day, whoever had money in the beginning, bro, got money now.
Yeah, but
so you gotta think about it like this, bro. Who pays everybody that works? It's people that had money in the past.
No.
And yes, it is, bro. If you trace money back, bro, the amount of rich people that are like new rich people is way less than the people that's been rich.
Money's only a facade. It's a tangible, intangible thing. Like it only goes so far as what you make it. Like it's a society. Money's in society, so this is the society we live in, which is a money and technology oriented society. I personally just don't think there's no way around it. They have plans in place for anything. For an example, as a person sitting here in this tax bracket, I know for a fact if you had enough money in the world, you're gonna experience a lot of things and then get bored of a lot of things, and then you're gonna turn things that we do now into games and stuff like that will be a lot more costly. An example, like I want to play COD. A trillionaire wants to watch people actually be in COD.
Yeah, but I mean,
kill themselves.
At that point, I mean,
what I'm saying is, I'm bringing that to the whole factor of what do you think they're doing with the world? What do you think government is? We play Monopoly on this level. They play Monopoly with us. We are their characters.
I mean, at the end of the day, bruh, humans and everything on Earth has to have organization. Like, it has to be hierarchy. Like, you got the trees that are taller than the other trees. You got the pigs that are bigger than the other pigs. It's just how it is. Saying we should get rid of government or like
what I'm saying is there needs to be an overhaul on a lot of things. The overhaul might be what throws it over the cliff. Like, okay, so we have a plan set for this is how we're going to make money for the rest of our generations if this is to go. Well, if they were to take over the government, overthrow the government, and the government no longer exists and there's a restart, of course.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a bug or a sleeper or something. This is just me, common dude, thinking. But we're going to have some type of implement to have your money to keep going. You're going to have plans in place for anything.
If you get $3 trillion, bro, you become the very people that you're trying to destroy.
No.
Yes.
No, I do not.
The people at the very top, bro, they're human too. Like, we hang around each other because we're in similar circumstances financially. Whenever you get to that point, who can you trust?
Nobody.
Anytime you got
If you,
a situation where somebody is the biggest in a group of organisms in general, there eventually something is gonna come and try to take that biggest thing out. It's just how it is. Think if you one day got $1 trillion, bro,
mhm.
in like 30 days you wouldn't even recognize who you were anymore, bro.
No, what
Do
I'm
you know
saying
how
is
evil
there's
this world is?
yeah,
You
but
get $3 trillion. You know what you gonna do? You
no,
gonna probably go. You gonna be like,
accidentally kill people by that $3 trillion
no,
because you might put somebody into a slave workshop and they work for the rest of their life. That's technically killing that person because you built something new now. And you have to have workers for it, and you don't want to do it here in America, so you're doing it somewhere else. There's plenty of people in power that haven't changed who they are. They are not going to change that for the world, and there's a very few of those people. But I'm saying, like, if I had $3 trillion tomorrow, I wouldn't want nothing but 2-3 million of that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't want all that.
bro. That's what
I would
people say
literally go.
without 3 trillion,
No,
bro.
no.
I don't think you
I
can.
want
I
money.
think like
I need money.
put this like put imagine this
But
in your
I'm
head.
saying, like, I would be completely okay with knowing that I'm setting generational wealth. Like, I have my kids, good. And I can die peacefully knowing that. What I'm saying is, I wouldn't want to get there through blood.
I mean, I wouldn't say that Apple got there by blood.
Yes. Bro,
No,
there is people being shoveled out backsides of warehouses in China. Rated.
that's not Apple's fault.
Yes, that
That's
is.
China's fault for allowing that to take place in their country.
That's Apple.
We're not
No,
allowing that
you're
to have
seeing it
take.
through a lens of a person that's sitting in this
We're not
economy.
a.
You go over there with a lot of money, and one singular person with a lot of money, you have a lot of pull. You have a person on your team that's gonna
Even
have
if
a
even if you go to
if
space,
you have a person on your team that's gonna have a brochure showing, hey, this is how it's gonna look, clean environments, this, that, and the third. Because we all know if you go to Japan, you go to China, and you visit as a tourist, you have no there's nowhere to put trash that you can, there's it's pretty, it's genuinely very clean. How in the heck people that are based way more on morals than we are have religion that run way deeper than America does? Why do you think that they would allow slave warehouses way worse than anything that we can think of out
b-
there operational? And it's you're
because of
saying that no,
communism.
no, I said
Yes, it's
no.
because communism creates a situation where people in the market don't make things based on capital. They all the necessities are met, and then they just do stuff for the state because the state owns everything.
And
That leaves a huge gap for like the amount of people that China has. China has 1 billion people. Okay, that's a lot of people.
yes,
They have a government system where it limits people's incentive to go out and create new things based on consumption because it's not a capitalist nation, it's a communist nation, which means that there's a lot of people in China that are unemployed. This is how China became the like workhouse. This is how that the
I see.
factory of the world.
I,
This
I
is how it
I
became
see
that way.
what you're saying. What I'm saying is when there's somebody like for this is a bad analogy or anything like that, but the Holocaust for an example. I deep dived on this rabbit hole one time and I seen like on a Reddit forum of like real brochures of like concentration camps. And it did not like how we learned it is concentration camps. You were there, you're fucked.
Under most
It,
circumstances, that was the
100%
situation.
exactly.
Yeah.
But on the brochures, the way Hitler marched, the way Hitler told it, they had stepping stones with water around it for the kids to play. They had all this on the brochure. They had swing sets. They had cooks, all this. They had this. I mean, don't get me wrong. It didn't look super pleasing. Like they had canvas tents and stuff. But everything in the brochure showed it was amazing. You just got to go here until the war's over with, until we decide what side. Basically, is what it said. It was so not like something you would get and be like, oh, this is cool. Like
Right.
I'd much rather go here for refugee than deal with the bombing that might come. And that was what it was. And they were like, all right, boom, and they get in line, they get on the train, and that brochure out the window, and yeah, you see folks dying on the train on the way there. You like, this ain't what the brochure said.
What is this example?
The
What is this?
this
What is this?
example is showing the facade that is shown. Like, so what I'm saying is, if one man can go to China, and this is just my theory, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, I feel as if people in power with these big companies, I'm not gonna just name drop any companies like that, But like people with big companies that want warehouses and stuff like that to produce a lot of money and produce a lot of product at the same time, they go there and say, "Hey, this is great for your economy. It's great. This, that, and the third." They have a spokesperson for them that can speak very well, tell it how it is, and then boom. None of them never go inside the warehouses. And at the time, it's 2006, 2007. You get what I'm saying? I'm not talking 2024 or 2024, and I'm not talking that. I'm talking about early 2000 when this all started.
Are you saying that
I feel like he came in there.
People,
he was like, "Here goes the brochure. This is gonna make you a lot of money.
Man.
This is gonna make it." And then 5 years down the line, somebody popped in with a little camera, and they seen 6-year-olds out there putting batteries and shit, and they were like, "Oh my god, this is slavery."
No, bro, it is like that sometimes, but I think that's because a smaller percentage
nobody knew
of
how
people
pigs were farmed.
Relative to like the amount of work that can be done in China.
It's the same principle as people did not know until 2008 when OSHA, PETA, and all that stuff really got money and was able to have a seat. Nothing talking about pig slaughter, cow slaughter, none of that. When PETA officially started being there, like when video and stuff came out around 2008 Obama administration, everybody was astonished. Like people stopped eating pork for real. Like it was a big drop in pork for real because they saw how they were killing these things and how everything was. People were just running through there with sledgehammers, just swinging them like this, just doing. Yes, bro, and this is factories here.
Kind of rough, but like at the same time, that's not people being found in factories.
No,
like
that's a whole different. That's a whole different thing as well,
totally
but it's the same exact principle. It's shown on a brochure as if it's a great place to.
So you're saying pigs. Like propaganda? That's basically what you're. I mean,
I feel like it's a lot of propaganda more than it is just straight shit to the face. Hey, look, we're gonna take a lot of your civilians. Most of them ain't gonna come out that bit, and the ones that do, they're gonna be 65 pounds, and not gonna have a lick to their name. I don't think they did that. I think they was like, hey, this is going to boom your economy. It's going to allow your people to have a lot of money. In all actuality, all it did was have a select people have money. The same people that already had money in the beginning.
But that's how it works in every country.
And I want to break that.
You can't.
But there's no way to break that without that.
Without breaking society. If you break that, you break society. If you do that, you break society.
That's cool.
That's not cool.
And that's where the blood comes on my hand.
Because
if you're gonna break society, people are gonna die. Am I wrong or am I right?
A lot of people.
Okay, is that not blood on my hands?
Yes.
Okay, so what is it? What for?
Why would you do that? Knowing that specific part right there.
I know this sounds weird, and it's not a fool. I'm not an extremist or anything.
That's what it sounds like, brother.
No, I'm just saying that I think that the society that it's going to now is gonna fall. Like,
what do you mean?
Like the Romans.
It's gonna fall, bro. We are wealthier than any citizens in the entire history of human civilization.
Sorry, our money's not backed by gold.
We bathe every day. We have a reliable source of clean water.
Yeah, that's that
reliable food.
That's that brochure.
That's real life. No, there's plenty of countries out there that don't have that. Living longer than we've ever lived.
No, that's cap.
Yes. Based on science.
No.
Yes.
That's cap.
Okay. Whatever,
we have technology in front of us.
Go ahead. Hold up.
Hold on, we're going to do a data analysis. I'm going to go 500 years ago. Yes, compared to 500 years ago, people today are significantly wealthier on a global scale. Most of the people, the world's population experienced vast improved living standards due to advance in technology, medicine. The vast majority of people living 500 years ago would be considered extremely poor by today's standards. But today's standards meaning that you have to have some type of money.
You got to look at money as deeper than what it is. Money is just a way to exchange value. That's all it is.
Today's standards is bullcrap. Because back in the day, you had land. Nowadays, you don't have no. That's more valuable than anything. You could just walk away from your family and just stake a plot.
Did you know in the United States, there's more land here with nobody on it than there is with people on it?
That's cap.
No, that's true. Look that up.
Canada, for an example. Most of Canadians live amongst the border. The rest of fucking Canadians permafrost ain't fucking inhabitable.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
What
in
I'm
the
trying to
United
tell
States, there's plenty of land if people wants to go buy
nigga,
land. And
okay.
you know what? You know what happens though
China,
when you
there's
go buy land.
18,000 people living on top
You
of
know what
you.
happens though when you go buy land. You gotta develop it.
No, you
You
don't.
gotta do the plumbing.
No, you
You
don't.
gotta do the
No, you don't.
electricity. If you want anybody to move out there
No,
and
you
make it
don't.
into something like where
That's
people can stay and live beside just one person,
that's the
like a
problem with system.
community.
That's the problem in society. That is
No,
the problem for society.
humans are wired that way.
No, we're not.
Yes, we
No, we're
are.
not.
We're a
You don't need
tribe.
this.
We're tribal.
You don't need that.
I'm trying to explain to you the fact of why humans we live in population centers. It's because we're used to living with other humans. That's how we are as a
Bro.
species. You know why there's more land without people than there is with people? Because cutting down trees, leveling stuff, running pipe, all this stuff is hard, especially when it comes to the fact of
It's never been
how
hard.
many humans
It's only
there
hard
is.
now because everybody's so soft-handed. Is what I'm trying to tell you.
I mean, that may be what it is,
But
that's the reality.
My whole thing is
That's the
society
reality.
has became to the point where if somebody was to scrape themselves up, if you didn't go to the hospital, you'd die because you don't know how to band-aid yourself. It's just a
I don't think that's how.
Yes.
I think that's a bit hyperbolic.
If I stuck you in the woods for 10 days without food or water or any wet map or anything, 9 times out of 10, a person would die. Because
But why do we need to know how to do that? We haven't had to do that for so long.
Why wouldn't you not need to know how to do that?
Because
For an example, in Ukraine right now, them people were watching TVs 4K playing YouTube and all of that.
Oh my god!
They
Ukraine is not nearly defended like the United States.
Just listen.
I hear you.
People in Ukraine were living just like we are now, doing podcasts. You know, going to home. Hey, let's do podcasts. Whatever, doing whatever. A fucking missile goes through their shit. No longer does your Wi-Fi work. No longer do you have to worry about fucking pod, and you have to worry about surviving. Do you know how to survive? Anything can happen is all I'm saying. If you crash your car, Lord forbid any of this to ever happen to anybody. But if you crash your car on the way to your 9 to 5 in your regular day life in society, and you crash it off a ravine, you go hundreds of yards down that cliff. it happens all the time, David. It is not outlandish thing. It happens all the time.
That sounds outlandish.
No, it's not. You wake up from that and you get your bearings together. If you don't know where you're at or how to do it, you don't know. But just all right, I need to go up. But what if you done rolled to a ravine? Now you're going up on the wrong side, and you're going up a mountain that doesn't have a trail or human existence. That happens a lot, David. People just don't know how to systematically survive because of society has pampered everything. And I don't know how we got here, but I'm just letting you know that is a thing. Some people might die in society and never have to worry about surviving those means.
Most people
I pray that happens. But I'm a type of person that comes from a place where I've actually had to survive when I've made those oopsies. I was like, oh snap, hunting camp's not that way. I've been walking for about 4 hours.
But you put yourself in that situation.
What do you mean?
I'm saying like you signed up to go out there in the woods. If you're a regular person like me, and you don't venture out into the woods and shit.
I think regular people venture out in the woods. Regular people have hobbies. They like to hike.
Bro, okay, but they're gonna hike on a trail that is like well known.
No.
The extremists go to the unknown trails. The people that are like average people are just gonna take the trail that's been. Speaking from the perspective of, I feel like I like the way it is because I don't have to worry about having to go find food or putting gas in my car.
Hold on, you're wording that a lot differently than what it's being described as. I'm saying the knowledge of having that. Do I do that? Do I go pick berries and filter out my petrol and make gasoline?
Yeah.
I do that?
Yeah.
So I go out there and spark rocks every day to start my stove.
Yeah, bro. I've seen you do that before.
Okay, anyways, the knowledge of having is not with us no more. And you keep taking my point and pulling it a little bit further than what I think. But I'm just stating that I feel like humans should have the knowledge of survival. And I think that we're lacking that. I think it's just one of those traits that we're going to lose, just like the appendix. I think it's just going to be that. And then one day, unfortunately, we are going to get back into a war because we are human. Things happen. Nobody really looking for peace.
This is what I'm trying to explain to you. Is yes, I think this is where we disagree too. Yeah, I agree that we've lost that, but I also don't think that we need it because every time, whenever like we grow as a species, we lose something. Like you just mentioned the appendix.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need an appendix anymore. Our bodies are more efficient, or we don't do the behavior that we used to
There you go.
that requires us to use that.
We don't
So we get rid of
eat
it.
raw
And
meat.
then you know what happens? Whatever was fueling the appendix eventually is going to fuel something else. It may go to making the brain a little bigger. It may go to making your lungs a little bigger. It may go to making you a little bit taller. But whatever energy and mass and matter that was, eventually is going to make our bodies adapt better to the current environment. So I'm saying that we lost the ability to do all this stuff as a society so that we can grow as civilization. That's what I feel. I feel like it's growing pains. And yeah, even throughout all the wars and stuff, there has to be a civilization in order to have a war. There has to be a collective of people
Yeah, but
to have a war.
that
But
also
civilization has prevailed.
that also gives you the whole thing about if you believe in past civilizations, ancient civilizations that we don't know about. We swear we know everything and where it started, this, that, and the third. That human civilization started here, but you
Mm,
never know if there was a all out war where they decimated the population. Of course, people did survive, and of course, people found each other. That's why we're here today.
right.
But like what I'm saying is, I don't want to experience a worldwide genocide in a sense in my lifetime because we live in a very corrupt and very bad society. Don't get me wrong, I love Wi-Fi. I want to see where it goes. I like holograms and stuff like that. I'm not saying that we don't need to implement technology into our everyday lives. I'm just saying that just do not forget where you came from because that's what brought us here. If you're able to realize that and stay in society and this perspective because some people lose that.
I'm just saying though, bro. Like
I just feel like
I
we
feel
should be.
I
You
feel it.
should know how to strike a striker and make fire just in case. This is a good point. Hurricane Katrina, stuff like that. People were out of power for months.
But
Some people never got power again. Some
but
people died during that.
they could go where power was.
No, they could not. It's a You talk about facts. You can go look at this. People were not accepted outside the Ninth Ward. People are not accepted out there. Like
Outside of the ninth
Like
ward.
if you didn't have nowhere to go, you had nowhere to go. FEMA wasn't giving you a place to go back then.
Right.
It's a real thing. You can go look it up.
But it's not like that anymore.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
The
not.
FEMA that just came through. I personally work for a company that takes down trees and does storm work for hurricanes, tornadoes, and any other natural disasters. So I personally know
hmm
what FEMA does for you
hmm
and what FEMA camps look like. I've been there. I've dealt with it.
I mean, I think what are you saying? A
FEMA
FEMA
only
camp?
gave them guys $550 to replenish their house, like a week. But meaning like $550 for you and how many other kids?
Why didn't you have flood insurance if you're in a flood zone?
What if you're renting?
Then it's on your landlord.
Well, what are you gonna do?
You should have renter's
What
insurance.
is that gonna do for you?
Cover everything that's in your house.
Yeah, but what is that gonna do about a place to stay?
You'll get a check,
Okay, what is that gonna do for the meanwhile?
and then you go somewhere else.
What if you have no way to get that check because everything's
Well,
gone?
you have to figure it out. I mean, I understand that
Survival, right?
nature
Survival.
is.
That comes back to my whole point of
But I'm saying you
having
can get
survival
most
instincts.
of the time.
Some people just roll
Hurricane
over.
Hurricane Katrina was like, and I don't
There's
think that's right.
plenty more.
I think that that's more about who you are on the inside versus like
But
if you got the
society's allowed
skills
you
or
to
not.
be that more and more and more because some people were that on the inside and was like, and then caught a little bit of survival
Mm,
and was like, oh, boy, I got to tighten up type thing. For an example, like if our power goes out in here in Georgia, which it happens sometimes, tornado. Matter of fact, 2 years ago, the tornado came through. It knocked our power out for like 4 or 5 days. I literally was trapped on my road. Like 10, 12 trees were down on either direction to get out the road. If you wanted to go to the store to do anything like 3 days after, even the store was like giving away stuff because it was the store power was gone.
that's what happens when you
So
live in a small place like that.
that's what happens when you live in a place that is all dependent on society
No,
to
because
run it for you.
here we have like 3 WalMarts within walking
Yeah,
distance.
but that Walmart, if it doesn't have power, it doesn't mean shit
But
to
it
you.
ain't the likelihood of all three of them not having
The like
power.
if they're
Highly
if they're
unlikely.
walking distance, it's very high. If you know anything about a grid, it's gonna go down. What I'm saying is, if that happens in a small town or anything, I'm just hypothetically of all this, survival needs to be looked after. Like people, I feel like you should have a little bit of survival instinct and you should sharpen those skills a little bit, just like
Mm.
you should sharpen your technology skills in anything. People say it's okay to live in this society with no survival knowledge. And I'm like, well, anything can happen to you.
I'm saying this. This is what I'll say. And this is the best way I think I can put it. Like, I feel like whenever people first started using swords, they weren't thinking like we should go back to using sticks
Yeah.
or learn how to use sticks. They were trying to figure out how to be the best with the
But they were
swords.
also probably like, hey, you still
But
need to know how to throw a rock just in case.
but I don't think so.
Because why do we know
I
how to
think
throw a rock to this day?
because it's what we do. We do it for sport. We do it for entertainment. I'm comparing apples to apples. You're comparing
No,
apples
I'm
to
not.
oranges because you're comparing. I'm comparing a blunt object, a
Yes.
stick, and a sword. That I'm talking about that lineage right there.
Okay.
Like the rock throwing is really like
It comes with the
I would
stick.
compare that to like the reason why we have that still is because of stuff
Like
like
guns,
football
I
and
would say
basketball because we use it for that stuff.
I would say that the rock throwing, the reason what we have from rock throwing is guns and stuff because you throw the rock at the animal, and you wanted to throw the rock further because couldn't sneak. You didn't want to have to sneak up all the way. So
I
I do get what you're saying that
I
human trait does want to makes you want to be lazier
it doesn't make
because you're gonna want to find ways to not have to produce that not produce that much energy next time doing it. You're gonna try to make it more efficient on your body every time. You're not
right.
gonna want to the first time you ever go hunt that gazelle. Let's caveman wise, we're talking. Your mama, you gonna wrestle that mom. You don't know what to do. You're gonna wrestle that bit and then break its neck. You probably broke a neck on a human before trying to survive. So you break the gazelle's neck. Second time you go out, he was like, all right, bro. He hit that rock when he went down, so I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hide this time and throw a rock at him, see if it works. Rock don't work. All right, I'm gonna get a bigger rock. Hit that with a bigger rock. Rock punctures him more than it does just blunt kill him. You're like, okay, I need something sharp. Now you're trying to stab that thing. Oh, I want to throw this so I don't be up on it because it's harder to get up on him. I don't get as many. You get what I'm saying? So
But I'm
it
saying
produces
like
over
this
time.
like just like how you said, once you get to
Evolution.
that point though, why would you ever want to go back to wrestling?
don't want don't want to go back, but then why in my body am I wanting to understand that stuff?
I mean, I would say that that's just like
Because it ain't that
that's your
like
individual
it ain't. Well, there's
personality.
a lot of people out there. Is
Right. But I'm saying
there was even
majority.
doomsday preppers.
But I'm saying like majority of people, bro, they not on that because it's like
I feel like it's a
technology.
facade pull over your face though, more than anything. If you ask me, it ain't. It ain't like won't. At first, it might have been. Then I think it's more or less like okay, the mass is moving towards us. All right, cool. It's not like I just wanna. It's like oh that's cool. They doing that. That's cool. That's cool. I think that's just what it is in that society for you. Hive like mine, everybody's gonna have either iPhone or Android. You know what I'm saying? So when I date it back,
Could it not be though that the iPhones and the Androids are the best products
no,
available
no. There's
to
people that
most people?
that's you can go on YouTube and look at how many people that say iPhone are bad and how many people say Android are bad. There's all types of people all day. It's just
Or
what
are
you
we speaking
prefer.
like in like the whole world or like in the United States?
The whole world.
Well, I don't really
Because
know
some
much.
other countries do not even some countries might even have iPhone banned.
You, this is what I say. Like I think that like everything happens for a reason, bro. And I think just like I mentioned earlier, I feel like technology is the sword, the new thing
Yeah.
compared to the stick. Just like you were saying, it's the sharpened spear versus having to tackle it and
Yeah.
snap his neck.
Yeah.
You know, once you figure out how to kill it
Yeah.
with a spear, why would you ever want to go
Yeah,
back to
why
having
would
to
we want to be
go bare hand?
on a blueberry or a flip phone
Right.
if we got a touch screen now?
Right.
Well, I know what you're saying, but also what I'm saying is use that technology and evolution because it ain't like I ain't surviving without my gun. It
Right.
ain't like I ain't gotta use a lighter if I got it.
Right.
I'm not saying everybody's gonna do this. It's just like this is how I think. Like
I got
I
you.
feel like it's just like okay, I'm prepared.
Right.
Like if something was to happen, Lord forbid it all, because I want to live an easy life. But if something happens, I'm okay with being a gardener, a hunter, and a protector. I'm okay with some people are just like, ah.
Right.
You could just go grab a book from the library or simply type in while you wanted to watch ASMR videos or cute cat funny videos. You type in how to start a fire from a bow drill or, just, intrigue
Yeah.
yourself.
But I mean, I think that most people don't find
Okay,
that
I see
stuff.
where I'm
You
wrong
know
with
what I
that.
mean? Like I
Yeah.
just feel like for me, and it ain't only because I see it that way. I mean, I think that stuff is interesting. Like I ain't gonna cap like hunting and wildlife and stuff. I find that stuff interesting, but at the same time, it's like if you flip like survival and stuff into like a business or something where you can teach people and it makes money. I know you say like money don't really mean anything to you, that it's not real, but money is like
It's
it
really
what
not.
controls the world. I'm
Before
telling you.
before the paper that you tangibly touch right now, what was its currency?
Money
Coins.
money is a concept. It's a way to
Bro,
transfer value,
it's a tangible
exchange.
concept brought to physicality. I mean, brought to reality. All it is just like before coins. What was currency?
Probably gold and
Yeah, and
and
before
like
gold, it was
salted
what the
fish,
heck you could. Yeah,
salt.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I know, but I'm saying like the way
So,
it's we're
like,
we're symbol
how
based.
how am I supposed to explain this to you? If money wasn't really a thing, this would be a currency. You get what I'm saying?
It is.
It in a
It
way
holds
it is.
value.
It still does. But at the same time, you'd much rather have those $200 than have another headset at your house.
No, I gave the $200 for it because I would much rather have the AirPods than the two hundred
Yeah, but
dollars. You
like
know what I mean?
that's a currency. Like I'm thinking of society in a way of everything on that desk has value in a sense, right?
Right.
And that's just
Where
because
does
of
where does that value where does
person,
that value come from?
that person that made it.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. So
And what and why is that valuable?
because he took his time.
Exactly.
And I took my time to make my stuff. So why don't we just trade?
That's not because your time. The
If I
issue.
have
This is the
if
issue.
I
You
make
know
some
how you
immaculate
if
pants and you make AirPods over there, I'm gonna make you 5 pairs of pants or how many ever you need that you think is equal to the value of that pair of AirPods.
But I'm saying that you gotta have a way to determine whose time is more valuable than others.
That's
If
the
I got
amount
three
of
goats,
equality. I mean, the
if
amount of the quantity of what you bring to it. It's just like the quantity of dollars.
right,
Like so,
that's a
so
super
he's
easy
gonna
way
have a
though.
stock. All right. So for an example, he's gonna have a stock of 5 belts now, 2 pants, and now I got a stock of iPhone and AirPods. Right. What if I need to go get something else? I can sell those AirPods, and now I got 10 pants and something else I value. I
Right.
can go bust that down and go wherever else. You get
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
You know why logos work so well? Is because
Catchy.
we're extremely symbol based. Like
No,
we see symbols, the beat symbol, the
but
Apple logo,
but you got to
the
understand that stems from survival. That stems from us using this sense very well.
right. So
So they
money,
take
money. The only thing money you should think of money as is a symbol of value. That's it.
yeah. That's all I
That's
see
all
it.
it is.
But it isn't okay. I got you there. It is that right.
Right.
But I don't see it as valuable as I did. If that makes any sense.
Right.
And factually right.
Uh-huh.
It is dwindling. Is it not?
This is what I would say. I would say you don't value it, but it is valuable.
No.
The U.S. economy backs the U.S. dollar because we're the largest consumers on the planet. We can. Do you know how much stuff we import from other countries? How much, like debt
Did
we
you
owe
not know that
countries?
our dollar is dwindling and that the yuan and all of that is, they're making that the new super currency? Did you not know that?
They're trying to make it the world reserve currency.
Yeah, and
BRICS.
ours is, right?
Mm-hmm.
BRICS is trying to make a world currency, correct?
Right.
And if that kicks us off, then we have zero value because we were backed by gold. Now we are the world currency, so that's how we get our value.
That's not how that works, though.
Okay.
It's really not even about value. It's about how much money is in circulation. If your circulation goes down, then your value over the overall currency goes down. Because look, this is what I'm saying.
The
Like
more money you
when you
print, the
get
less valuable it is.
when you get to the global point, when you're talking about currency, the worth of the dollar, like so let's say just for simplicity, you got 10 currencies. That means that each currency is worth $1. So let's say that one of the currencies that's worth $1 starts to take some of the other dollar. Now this dollar over here is worth 50 cents, but this dollar is worth $1.50 because they took 50%. But it doesn't mean that that's inherent value. That just means it's share in the overall scheme of the currencies. So what I'm saying is, yeah, they may take like some market share, quote unquote, with as far as like the
So
a lot of market share, maybe a lot, which that is concerning. I'm not gonna lie.
this guy is amazing, guys.
That's concerning.
He's amazing.
That is concerning, but the only thing that it does is creates competition.
I respect.
You can't have this is what I think. I like competition. If the U.S. has had a monopoly on trade and currency for so long, bro, now hopefully this is what I say. If you follow the money, bro, that's where you really get change. Hopefully, with some type of competition, they realize, hey, we're losing, market share in the overall currency circulation in the world. Blah 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 blah. We're losing power. What can we do to stop it? Maybe that comes with some change.
And that's what we're experiencing on the lower level of the economy. Okay, it makes sense. I mean? But I don't want to. I almost gave some information out. It's almost like what I'm going through right now.
Respect.
It's not right, Right. But at the same time, it's what needs to be done for progression.
Right.
And it's just not it. And I don't sit. Just something I just don't sit right with. We got a call in, guys.
Hello.
What's up?
What up, bro?
What you got me on audio for?
I'm on my watch. We're recording one of our podcasts.
Yeah, you're on call in right now, Sam. Tell the pod what's up.
What's up?
Currently we're talking about the currency, and we're talking about how I feel like everybody in society should still have a little bit of survival instinct and learn a little bit of survival knowledge for that just in case. And David thinks that the way society is going, we just really might opt out of it, just like we did with our appendix. Just evolution.
Opting out of the working part or the whole currency part?
Opting out of like being a survivalist, having that type of trait.
Whatever is the closest to Wally is what I believe it'll be. I guess it'll be currency, huh? Because I don't think humans are ease of access. Survival instincts are not ease of access. Currency is.
We got a smart guy on the phone, don't we?
You think he?
I mean, I'm not saying what I want to happen. I'm just saying what I think is gonna happen.
Gosh,
just logically.
This guy here, I love him to death. I just don't sit with him sometimes. So. Yeah, but the guy sounds very smart.
Badass. I was talking about the whole podcast, not this one.
What you mean?
Like, how long y'all been doing podcasts for?
Oh, this is second episode.
Oh, okay.
But it's been in the works for a couple months.
I mean, hell, we've been talking about it for years.
Yeah, I know. Trust me. And we're finally here with 2 camera setups. It's crazy work.
All right, then.
All right, then we'll catch up with you in just a little bit, man.
Peace out, brother.
Okay.
So that was Samuel.
Yeah, we're going to have to text him in the group chat because he's going to be butthurt.
Samuel.
This is a controversial question. I like asking this one. I only asked it twice. Where do you think COD's going with, like just in general? Like, do you think it's about to be one of those fall-off states where it's about to start falling off? But on top of that, do you think... I know this is about to sound controversial. But you think they're going to add, like, urban war zones, like new war zones that are currently going right now, like Ukraine, Syria, places like that? Do you think they'll add that down the line, or do you think it's too still fresh? Because they added Pearl Harbor in Call of Duty 4. I
think that whatever they feel like is going to make them the most money, that's what they're going to do. If they feel like, doing that based on Ukraine and Israel or whatever, if they market research say that that's going to make them the most money, that's what they're going to do. I see what you're saying. I just feel like COD might be too woke to throw the Ukraine and Syria and Africa and
places like that. I mean, don't get me. It might sound weird, but I do want to see those on like a battlefield. Like I know.
Where they're going?
No. But like, I would like to play it. Like we got to play the gulags and all that. That's a real thing. Those are real places. Battlefield 1's really, really good with that.
Yeah.
You fight Saudi Arabians and all types of crazy junk.
Yeah. I feel like we're just messed up, man, as a society. That's what we do. It's like the things that we enjoy and the things that we like.
It's like we want to see the gruesome through a lens or through a hand like this.
Right. You're right. We don't want to see the whole thing.
You don't.
Yeah.
You just wanna experience it. You do want to experience it. It's like somebody wants to see a dead body.
Right.
But like you don't want to be there when they're dying.
Right. You don't want to see them die. Yeah. You know, like
You do want to be like. You know,
and then when you see it, you're like, damn, I shouldn't have looked at that. I should have looked at it. But it's something, what's his name? Jake Paul messed up, wasn't it?
Oh.
Then he go to Japan and film like a dead body
on
and suicide.
Yes, in the field. Bro, where did that go? He knew what he was doing. He said it on the stream.
Yeah,
did you see the real uncut video?
You know me. You know me.
You know me, I be on them forums, Reddit and stuff.
We can't show that on here. We can't show this on here.
But we can talk about it. No, for real quick before we go. Like, it's just crazy how, like, he filmed it, and then when they noticed it, and then it was like, you could just see I'm talking about, it was just all the emotion, like, the facade they put on in front of the camera, like it was like, let's go, bro. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
it was just all crazy. It was all like out of their face. But guys, I think we're gonna conclude.
Yeah, we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah, man. And that is the
Daily
Check-In Gangy.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Yeah, man. We about to get up on out of here. All right, 10-4. Bye.
Beep.